Good evening, everybody. Everybody is nobody right now, but I'm sure it'll only take a couple of minutes and people will start popping in. As you pop in, I'll mention it again in about 5 minutes, but if William pops in tonight, it's William's birthday. I'm not sure if he's 48 this year. I can't remember what he said he was going to be, but yeah, today's his birthday. So if he does pop in, just pop in and say happy birthday to him. I'm sure he would appreciate it, right? What did I do on my birthday this year? Oh, I didn't do anything on my birthday this year. Yeah. Hi, Andrew. How are you tonight? Anything new and exciting? Did you do church this afternoon or this morning, or did you do it this evening? Me and my nephew were actually talking about you. He was following my live a couple of weeks ago, right? And he thought you were super interesting. Yeah, he really thought you were super intelligent, and he loved your love for God, right? Yeah, my nephew is I guess a born again Christian. I don't know if he's a Christian. I don't know if they're Christians. Andrew, maybe you would have this answer. He loves Jesus, right? So I'm not sure if that's Christianity or not. I'm assuming that it is, right? But yeah, he's right into Jesus. But yeah, he really loved your conversation when he sat in on our lives a couple of weeks ago. Yes, we're in the middle of a snowstorm also tonight, Andrew. We have the snow started last night, and yeah, it hasn't let up, but the trucks are out now clearing the roads. I just saw the first set of trucks about a half an hour ago, and we're usually the first streets to get done because I live across the street from the schools, right? So they always do the streets around the schools before they do any of the other streets first. Yeah, so I saw them about a half an hour ago. They cleared my front street. But yes, it's Andrew's. It's William's birthday today. So if William pops in today, I don't know if he would. Maybe he went out for a drink with his friends tonight or something, or maybe we'll be lucky enough and he'll pop in and spend his birthday with us. Wouldn't that be nice? Yeah, it's not too cold here. It's minus 15 Celsius. So I'm not too sure what that is. I know when it gets to like minus 20, our temperatures, the Fahrenheit and the Celsius gets almost the same. But yeah, it's pretty cold here. Lots of moisture in the air. And yeah, lots and lots and lots of snow. Lots of snow. Oh, sorry, just turning my notifications off here. Oh, yeah, and my friend Arnaud from Exploring in Me. I don't know if anybody in my crew watches his explore videos. He did a castle this week, right? He lives in Belgium. I don't think the castle was in Belgium. I think it might have been Norway, he said. But yeah, so I caught up on his last two videos this afternoon. He's a good friend of mine, right? And we've been close for a few years. We started on YouTube at the same time, urban exploring, and we became friends right away. And he's such a sweet guy. Like he suffers lots. He's got lots of rheumatoid going on, and he suffers lots, right? I think he said he takes morphine for his pain, and but me and him, I think we made a date for August 2021. We are going to go camping for a couple of weeks. He's going to take me to some of his places in Europe. So yeah, I better find a good paying job in order to afford a trip like that, right? I've never been to Europe. Have you ever been to Europe, Andrew? just let me take the coat off. I was really had a real chill today, right? Lots of studying and stuff today, like trying to get lots done, right? Trying to make myself feel better, right? My sister is just not happy with me at all, and I'm doing the best that I can. But that's all I can say is that I'm doing the best I can. But all I can do is be accountable to my own actions, right? And not worry about other people's actions. Yeah, she didn't call me this weekend or anything. Like nothing. I thought we were working towards getting on a good footing, and it just went back to the way it was last week, and I have no idea why, but oh, you went to Niagara Falls, Andrew. Yeah, I meant to go to Niagara Falls in September, but it didn't happen. I was gonna go with some of the people that I went with the workshop, and then I started doing some touring of the city and driving around all around the city and stuff looking. And by that time, that I actually thought, well, I better get on my way because I knew it was a couple hours from Toronto. And by the time I said that, it was already time to head home. Yeah, almost wish I didn't come home. Yeah, I don't know. I'm in one of those moods today. Yeah, but I'm happy to be here. Yeah, I'm happy to be here. 1970. I remember 1970. That was our bicentennial here in Canada in 1970. It was our bicentennial. I'm pretty sure it was. No, that was 1967. Ooh, I even remember 1967. So that's 6 years old. I was all happy that I had a childhood memory from like when I was a baby, from like 1 years old. I had just a flash of a memory a couple of weeks ago. And so because I don't remember too much, before 5 years old at all, like, and I've been trying to think, right? Because, I would really like to know, if I was a happy baby or a happy child, right? You're just yapping away. Everybody's taking their time coming in tonight, Andrew. I was trying to think of a story for my Instagram post, right? This week I've been doing posts. They've been kind of heavy, right? And I just was trying to think of a fun one, a fun post, right? So just before I was setting up here, and I was trying to think, tomorrow, because I usually start my post in the evening, right? Because I like to do a good job. If I'm going to do one post a day, I would like that post to be a good post, right? And so I was thinking tonight what my post would be. I've the pictures, not a problem now. So I've got that down packed, but now I've got to find a nice, funny story or happy story, right? Maybe I should tie it up around my YouTube channel. Oh, I do have a funny one. Oh, I do have a funny one. I don't know if I'd be brave enough to tell it. It was, yeah, it's a funny one, but it's not for Instagram, for sure it isn't. You can go all the way back to 3 years old. Andrew, that's so good. Do you live in a tornado alley? Is that area a tornado alley, Andrew? I see dust tornadoes when I'm urban exploring all the time, right? When the dust comes up onto the roads, right? And it actually looks like a real tornado, right? Because it picks up all the dirt and the pebbles and stuff, and it looks like one. But they usually go on the roads or in the middle of the fields once they've been harvested, right? Those happen. And I usually like to drive through them, make me feel like in that movie, Tornado. What was that? What was the name of that movie? I can't remember that movie. It was a good one too. Yeah. I used to like disaster movies. I haven't seen movies forever. My sister actually took us to see a movie a couple of months back. And even that one, holy moly, even that one, I can't remember what the movie was about. I remember it was a 3D movie. Ooh, pretty bad. Yeah, I must be just overtired today, right? You know, I'm looking for work and the pressure's on me, and then I worry about my sisters, my eh, eh, just yeah, nobody's happy, like, and I'm sitting here and I'm in this house all by myself, right? And like nobody even bothers to call me, like, so I'm so happy. I'm just sorry, everybody. I'm just in one of those moods, and I'm trying to be cheery, but I think I took in way too many listens today because I was doing some heavy duty trauma work today, right? So I guess it must have brought me down. William's here. Happy birthday, William. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear William. Happy birthday to you. How did you celebrate today, William? Tell us how you celebrated today. I know you're celebrating with us. Wow. What a privilege that is. What a privilege. I'm so happy you're here. See, that cheered me up. That cheered me up. I didn't get an email. From you this morning. As otherwise I would have remembered to say, I'm just going to double check here to make sure. My primary. Yeah. But happy birthday, William. How did you celebrate? Did you go out for a drink tonight? I don't know if you're a drinker or not, but if your friends took you out for dinner or something. Oh, Cyrus Webb, this lady, I see her all the time. It's one of the people I join her, but she's so pretty. Take a look at this. Oh, you can't see it. You can't see her, but she's such a pretty lady. She's got beautiful hair. Yeah, short platinum blonde hair. Yeah, very pretty lady. But yeah, I'll watch that later too. See, I'm a little scattered tonight, right? Yeah. Darn. I left it right to the last minute today too. I was in I think a 2-hour video today, right? And I was just like trying to watch it all, right? Like I don't like to miss parts of my videos, but I knew I had my live tonight, right? And I was really looking forward to my live. Oh, did you have a steak, William? Did you have a steak? I don't eat steak. I'll eat Swiss steak, right? If you put like peppers and stewed tomatoes and onions, right? And green beans, and then you let it simmer until the meat almost falls apart. I can eat it like that, right? And I can do roast beef. But I think I must have been a little kid since I had a steak, and everybody in my family eats steak. I'm the only one who doesn't eat steak, and my sisters too. And I did the same thing with my microphone today. I keep forgetting to bring my microphone to me. But yeah, I was always yeah, a big girl, but pasta was my thing, right? Pasta and bread. Anything bread, anything with flour on it, cakes, cookies. Yeah, I've had two treat days since I went off my diet at Christmas. Maybe 3 treat days. I'm trying to think, two or three treat days now that I've had, but it's been really good because I've been able to get right back on my diet, and that was a big concern for me, right? That I was going to come off my diet and then just stay off it and just get big again, right? Because we still have 2 more months of winter, right? And winter locks you down quite a bit. You don't get as much exercise, right? Mind you, boy, my walks, I'm taking 3-4 hour walks at night, right? When I get home, I get bundled up and, I go for these walks. And I guess, it's so sad to come back to this apartment that I don't even want, I don't even want to walk in my door. So I just stay out and I just walk around and yeah, I go for long, long walks, right? Sometimes I pop in to visit my sister Carolyn, and take her a coffee. But other than that, I've been spending all my time by myself. Yeah. Has to end, right? I was even actually thinking of even starting dating again, you know, and like I'm meeting guys online. Like, I don't know, like I've never dated anybody online or anything, but I've had small conversations with a couple of really, really nice guys, right? But I'm so involved in my brand. I'm so involved in my work that I haven't even really given any thought to relationships. But I can see that if I am feeling lonely, right? If I am feeling lonely, then it's important that I should have some kind of relationships in my life, right? So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I need a cat. Maybe I need a man. I don't know. I don't know. I just play each day, right? Like actually, even now, I'm just playing each moment from one moment to the next, right? You know? And like the one guy, he I guess he could tell that I'm not comfortable, because how do you date online? Like it doesn't make sense, right? Like when you date people, you're supposed to go off and have conversations and like spend actual time together. I mean, not even necessarily even talking, but being together. And yet these people expect that I'm going to be dating them with just conversations, with just texts. It just doesn't make sense to me. Maybe it's just my age. Maybe this is the way people date now, right? Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, I just feel it all out. But it's good though that I'm actually having these conversations with these guys, right? Because like every day I get these men, I wake up in the morning and there's messages for me and stuff. And on the norm, I will just sometimes I'll say hi just to be polite, right? And then as soon as he asks me, about dating or anything like that, I'll just shut them down, just saying, "Oh, I'm just so too busy for that," right? but yeah, I just don't understand the online dating thing, and I'm not even sure if I want to date. Like, I'm not even sure, right? You know, like if it wasn't for the worry about the relationships with my sister, you know, then I wouldn't have a need, I don't think, to go that way because I'm good. Like through my whole life, I only had like one or two good relationships at any given time, right? I was so involved, so involved with taking care of myself that I was very very picky about who I made my friends because I don't know, I'm not very good at casual friendship, right? Like I'm not very good at it. Like if I get into a relationship, I want that friendship to be solid, right? That I can be able to trust everything into it. And I've always had those people, right? And my sisters have been those people since I started having difficulties in holding jobs, right? Which has been for about 5 years, right? Has it been that long? Yeah, it's been a long time. Like, yeah, just get a job and you hold on to it for as long as you can, and then you lose it or you get laid off or a contract ends. Like I just haven't been able to hold on to a job, right? And it's really taken a toll on my relationship with my sister Tracy, right? And it hurts me, and I can't be around being hurt. like I'm doing the best I can. That's all I can say, right? Is I'm doing the very best that I can. And if that's not good enough, then I think maybe it is a good idea. Then you just, because just talking to you and seeing you once every 2 weeks and then feeling good for a day and then, you know, then the next week I feel like crap because I just feel like I'm on a reward and punishment system, and if you think you're going to put me on reward and punishment, you got another thing coming because I grew up on that, right? And yeah, it's not going to work. You're going to destroy, she's going to destroy our relationship completely, and I take fault for it. I should be working and I should be bringing in the money and I should be taking care of myself, and I'm not doing a very good job at it. Oh, good for you, Andrew. Good for you. Good for you. You should have that confidence, right? You deserve it. But like I said, it doesn't hurt to check into Google, right? To see if you can get into the process with Google. And it's a fun process too, right? I did a little bit of research because there was a time that I would have liked to have gone to work for Google, right? And I still would like to do some work with Google, right? I love Google. Like this journey that I'm doing online is a Google journey also, right? So I did look into it, and it just looked like a really fun process. But because it takes a little while, if you don't get accepted, I notice that people say their hearts get broken because they get really pumped for these positions, right? And because the process is a little bit longer, that they get really let down when they're not accepted, right? But yes, if you can get yourself psyched up to ask, and isn't that terrible that we have to psych ourselves up for a raise, right? I never cared about money. I never once asked for a raise in any job I ever had. I did get raises. I did have some good employers, right? Like I had this woman, Diane, that I worked with in a cafeteria when I worked up at Winpack, and she was such a great boss. And I was with her for 5 years and I ran her cafeteria for her, right? And she worked super hard too, right? I really, really love that job too. I had like 600 people in that plant that I took care of on every single break. And normally, quite often, I would be doing that by myself, right? And it's all about the prep, right? But what I like to do is I like to make the menus for the week, and I like to do the grocery lists, and I like to do baking because in the afternoon breaks I always like to have treats for them. So I was always making, cinnamon buns, and I had cookie Tuesdays, right? So every week I would change the type of cookie that I would make because I had three. I made hermits. My hermits were really popular. I made an awesome peanut butter cookie and my chocolate chip cookies, right? And yeah, and the whole plant would smell like cookies. Everybody knew Cookie Tuesday, right? Yeah, and a couple of cookies for $1. And yeah, they made lots of money on those cookies, that's for sure. 6 years? Holy moly. But this online dating thing, to get back to it, right? You know, like if we are online and that's the norm, right? If online dating is the norm, it seems like a pretty safe bet, right? Like you're not getting together with somebody that you don't know, right? That could hurt you, right? If you're dating online, right? You know? But how long have you been doing that job, Andrew? How long have you been there, Andrew? Tell me how long you've been there. I can't remember if you told me how long you've been there. I think the longest job, all my jobs were long term, like all of them were at least 6 or 7 years, right? I usually worked in restaurants and stuff, but I think my longest job was when I was at the hotel and I was bartending and serving at the bar, right? I worked there for 12 years. Oh, you're looking for one, Cindy. Yeah. Isn't that awesome though that you can do that you can date online and actually really really get to know somebody before you actually, take them on in person, right? Yeah. But like I said, I have had a few of those gentlemen and really nice guys too, right? I mean, it's easy to lie, right? Because it just seems like a coincidence. Like the last three that I met were widowers, but again, it would make sense. But yeah, these men look younger than me too, so they look like they're in their 30s and 40s that I'm talking to. But but yeah, they say they're widowers, and I know, you know, you got to trust them for their word, but I know lots of people, they if they're online, it would be very easy to get to a woman's heart by saying that they're a widower, right? Because then, a woman would want to take care of them and stuff, and they have that motherly feeling that they would want to take care of them, right? And yeah, and some men are sneaky and know that, right? And would take advantage and try to manipulate and gaslight you. Do you guys know what gaslighting is? I've known what gaslighting is for a couple of years now, right? Because I was gaslighted as a child, right? But as a as an adult, you can be gaslighted by narcissists, right? I don't know if anybody's ever been married or gone out with a narcissist, right? But yeah, they rule the show. They like to keep you under control, and what they'll do is they'll make you feel bad about yourself, right? So it makes you very dependent, and they'll make it so that you'll look to them, right? Because yeah, narcissists, they like to be everything, right? They like to be in control. They want to be heard. And actually, I was watching one video this week that was saying that because they always need attention. They always need somebody attention. They always need somebody there to make themselves feel good, right? They go through the exact same trauma like I went through, right? Like they have the same kind of trauma, but they deal with it differently. They shut themselves down, which I guess I shut myself down too, but they have no capacity to love, right? So they don't even love themselves, narcissists. And they get into these relationships with people, and they just make them feel really really bad about themselves, right? And I was watching a video this week, and they were saying the only thing you can do with a narcissist, if you're, because it's like an addiction, right? Especially if you're an empath, right? It's an addiction to have a narcissist. There's a chemical thing, right? And they say the only thing you can do is not give them the time of day. Don't respond to them. Don't look at them. Because they'll give up on you, right? If you're not giving them what they need, they'll give up on you because you're not giving them what they need, right? And what they need is your undivided attention, and yeah, they want to rule you under their thumb, right? And yeah, unfortunately, I know a couple of people. Oh, Owen's here now too. Oh, awesome. Nice to see you, Owen. I guess I'm not technically seeing you, but you know what? You should I'm job hunting tomorrow, but later, like in any evening, if you wanted to just email me, we could do hangouts or we could do Zoom or something. And even if you want to go live with me on Instagram or something, like Owen, like, yeah, like we keep saying we were going to have these conversations, but we We haven't had, I mean, I know you've emailed me a couple of times and I appreciate that. Hi, David. Oh, David, thank you so much. Yeah, we could use a prayer today. That's for sure. I could use a prayer. I could use a prayer. And I'll send a blessing out to you. How's that? Yeah, that was sweet. Thank you, David. That was really nice of you to say that, right? Yeah. Lots of people on my crew have had rough upbringings, right? So we support each other and we push each other forward, right? Every week we get together and over the years we've gotten so much better, right? I remember when William was started watching my channel and he never even talked. Now he talks just as much as Andrew does, right? Andrew's our biggest yapper on the lives, right? And we usually have lots of women, but Nancy's on holidays, doctor's order, nice warm climate for the winter. So I hope she's really enjoying her time. And then Kathy, she'll usually pop in later and she'll watch it afterwards or she'll just stay in the background and yeah. I'm just gonna wave one to Kathy, right? I love her. She's absolutely one of my favorites. She supports me on my Instagram too, right? She always leaves me a kind word on my Instagram photos. And I think probably today, right, was why I feel a little bit heavy today is because I did one on grief. My post today was on grief. I was thinking of a friend of mine who's been suffering lots, right? Like it just seems like, family and friends and passing away. And I thought I would send out a post and I just, I put a thought out to her and yeah, so I did grieve today. So it's understandable, that I would feel a little bit down and it doesn't help either, like I keep going back to this relationship that's going bad on me and I don't know how to save it and I'm not quite sure if I'm even supposed to save it, right? Yeah, because I don't think it will make a difference if I get a job or not. I don't think it has anything to do with it. It has everything to do with me being online, right? And the way I've changed, right? And I've changed a lot. I have changed a lot over the past 2 years, and there's no going backwards, right? Like there's no going backwards. It's not like take it back, right? I don't want this, right? It's you keep moving forward, you keep expanding, right? And even though I don't have the money situation figured out, I sure have a lot of other things figured out. So, and as soon as that money situation is sorted and I don't mean to put it on the money, right? Because I could be doing a lot of good now, but I think a lot of people would trust me more that I know what I'm talking about if they actually saw that I could just pull it all together properly like it should be, right? But for whatever reason, I have that abundance block and it's it's at the point now it's just totally ticking me off, right? Yeah, and it shouldn't be ticking me off. I should be full of love and yeah, all of this and I just you know it's just today. I wasn't irritated yesterday. It was just worry is what it is. It's just a whole bunch of ton of worry today, that's all. Oh, thank you, William. Look at everybody praying. Wow. I just wish I knew who I would be praying to, or I'd shoot a little prayer out there. For sure I would. What I can do though is, shall we? Give me a message for everybody today. Give me a message for everybody today. Here we go. Let me turn my light on here. Show me the fix, the thing you did to make yourself whole before you were broken. Where is the God of everything that heals? Can you pray to him? What you feel is not brokenness. It is the desire to love yourself. How are you were meant to be loved? It is your heart crying out. Are you kidding me? Was that just the perfect message for me right now? What you feel is not the brokenness, it is the desire to love yourself. How you were meant to be loved. Aww. Okay. I'm just going to settle into this now. Because that was a perfect message for exactly the sentence I said even before I opened up the book, too, right? Yeah. Universe works in mysterious ways. Aw. But are you doing anything else for your birthday tonight, William, or are you just going to be spending it with us? I guess it's a little, oh no, it's still early there. Because you're on the West Coast, right, William? You're on the West Coast? I made a cup of tea today. I've been drinking tons and tons of tea today. But it's the chill, right? Because it's just been so cold, and for some reason it's been coming into the apartment, and I normally have the windows open, like wide open in the wintertime, right? Because heat rises, so, and I like it cool in here. But yeah, today it was exceptionally cold, right? Exceptionally cold. Aw. Yeah, so this week, what I've been up to, I've been trying to get rid of some things in my apartment. I didn't sell anything, but I've got everything listed, right? We're just going to get rid of everything. I think, like I don't need an apartment, right? Maybe a room in somebody's house would be nice, right? I'm not even sure if I want to stay in Winnipeg now. It's really hard to go back and forth, right? And I think if I stayed, it would be a lot of back and forth. And that back and forth is what's so painful, right? It's the message. I gotta, and I just don't even know. I don't even know. Like, could I go back to Vancouver? Could I move to Vancouver? I don't know. Could I move to a small town? I don't think I would like a small town. Like, I think, I do. I love the country. I love rural settings. I love the wilderness, but it wouldn't be the same, I think, if I lived there like 24/7, right? Like if I lived there all the time, I don't think I would get the joy from the outdoors like I get the joy from the outdoors now. Oh, and did you see the video I posted this week? Did you guys see the video I posted this week? It was a small on my screen, but it was the best that I could do, right? I lost my editor quite a few months ago. I lost my editor, right? And I put a video. I made a sled. I had a sled in the basement, and I decorated it up like a Christmas float, and I took it out to the forest, right? And I wandered around the forest with this sled, and I had trays set up on the sled, right? And I filled all the trays up with all kinds of goodies for all the animals, right? And it was amazing. At first I couldn't get anything except birds. Wherever I stopped, it would be birds. And then the squirrels were pretty good, but they were taking too long to get to the tray. So I just threw the food out and then filled the trays up again. And then I bumped into some ladies and they said, "Oh, go up this area. You'll see lots of deer." And I went up there and I walked in, and sure enough, I saw a couple of deer. But within 20 minutes, I swear within 20 minutes, there were at least 20 deer, right? At least 20 deer. two big bucks, and then there were a couple of little bucks, like baby ones, right? And all the rest were does. But they just were taking their time getting to my tray, and my battery was running out on my camera, and and then finally the big buck got to the sled, right? And he was like stomping his foot down on the ground in front of the sled. Every time a deer came near the sled, he was like guarding the sled for himself. And do you know what he loved to eat most on that sled? Because I could hear it from where, because I tried to stay like they were all around me. They were like, I was right in the center, and all the deer were all around me, and all the cars were lining up on the side of the road to watch me, right? And to watch the deer, because there were so many deer, right? But yeah, that big buck was guarding the sled, and it was absolutely amazing. It was an experience. It really was, right? It just felt super magical when I went out and done. Like, I see deer all the time, but to have them they came from everywheres, right? They came from everywheres. And even at one point they were walking up the trail. There was a trail in the bush, and they were walking like single line behind each other, all the way up the trail, right? Yeah. So it was so much fun. But yeah, I did that. But if you haven't seen that explore video, like, watch it. It was so sweet, right? Like, even I thought it was sweet. It was an idea I came up with, about a month ago, and I thought, oh, I've got that sled in the basement, and I bet you it'll turn out really good. And I had some rotten vegetables and fruit, and I had popcorn and little munchies around, which I wish I had kept for myself, because yeah, I've got pea soup on right now. I'm gonna have some pea soup for dinner tonight. Yeah, I was gonna go to the store, but I was waiting for somebody to come by, and yeah, he never came by. So yeah, maybe we'll see. Maybe tomorrow they'll come by, and yeah, go get some, because I'm getting sick of pea soup. I make good pea soup, and I make it a little bit different every time, right? I almost bought a can of French pea soup, the yellow one, right? And with ham, like when I go for dinner, like once a month, I used to have dinner at my sister's house, and we'd make a ham, right? And I'd always take the hock home, and then I would like strip the meat off the hock, and I would put it in my pea soup, right? I used to work with a lady, and she was famous, even at Christmas time, everybody got those canning jars of pea soup that she made, right? And like, she was really quite famous for her pea soup. And so I thought I would try to make pea soup. I think I had a function or something, and I thought, oh, I'll make a pea soup for this, and it turned out so well. So yeah, at least once a week I'd put a pot of, and it's so easy, right? Because it's just an onion, diced onion, and half a bag of peas, right? And water, and a couple of bouillon cubes, right? And you just let it simmer on the stove for an hour until all the peas break down. And it's like, they're so easy to make, right? And it is really good. Especially, it's even better the next day once it thickens up and stuff, right? Yeah, I really like pea soup. But I'm pretty happy that I've been staying on my diet. Like I said, I've had a couple of treat days already, and I was able to get back on my diet the next day, right? So if I can do that even once a week, if I thought I could eat like a normal person, right? Like, have peanut butter toast, but have one slice of toast in the morning. But no, I've got a 4 slice slicer. If I'm going to have peanut butter toast, I'm going to have 4 slices. Like, I have no control, right? So for somebody who doesn't have control over their diet like that, it's not healthy to try to eat like normally, like, every day have a treat, or every day have potatoes or every day have bread. Like I can't do that. I think I have to stay on the treat day because yeah, my treat days are wicked. Yeah, both times I made bread, right? I made like 2 loaves of bread and you try to eat as much of that stuff because you don't want to throw it away. Mind you, I break it up and I throw it out my window for the rabbits and the birds, right? The next day, but yeah. But the next time I make bread, I'll just have to make sure that I take a loaf down to the neighbor or something, right? Yeah. I don't like to buy like home bread at the store unless it's a seedy bread. Like I really like seedy breads, right? Once in a while, like a rye bread, for like patty melts or for corned beef sandwich on rye. Ooh, I love corned beef sandwiches. I haven't had corned beef sandwich forever. Maybe that should be, and I was also thinking of that, of maybe treat day can be like 3 treats, and I will pick the treats like during the course of the week. And then I can't overeat or anything on those days, but I can have those 3 treats, right? I just got to figure out a way that I can stay on my diet, right? It's very, very important to me to take care of myself, right? I'm back to my vitamins and minerals and my long walk. So I am doing good. I know I look big, but my clothes are all too big for me, right? I usually go for a grocery, or not a grocery, a shopping spree. We have a place called Dollarama. I don't know if they have Dollarama in the States. Do they have, or not Dollarama, Value Village, they call it. And what it is, it's like a department store, like a big department store, but it's a secondhand store, right? And yeah, so me and my sister Carolyn, we usually go for a shopping spree. When our income tax returns come in, we usually go for a shopping spree and we get all new clothes, right? And we usually spend, $50 or $100 each, right? And we just get all new clothes for spring and summer, right? Yeah, I'll have to shop really, really well. I have no choice. I need new clothes. Like my clothes, like even my smallest pants, I have to tie. I have to tie up. I mean, it's a good problem to have, but yeah. But isn't that amazing that I did that for myself, that I actually lost all that weight, right? Just pure determination, just to get it done, to make myself feel good. Because when you feel good about yourself, you can go off and you can do something else, right? That will make you feel good about yourself. I got to just keep reminding myself that I've lost this weight and that I actually, I'm feeling better and I'm looking better because of it, right? But when you're outside and you're wearing these great big snow pants and great big winter jackets that make you look 500 pounds, it's hard to feel good or even acknowledge that you've lost the weight, right? Yeah, you were saying that you had doctor's appointments this week. I hope everything went okay. You're going back for another appointment? Oh, Andrew, that's nice of you to say. That's so nice of you to say. I've tried to be self-disciplined. I'm not even close to being disciplined enough, right? But I do try, right? I do try. It's my environment, right? I'm not in a healthy environment to be confident that I could do it, right? I have to just put myself in a better state of mind, in a better environment. And yeah, I'm working on that. I gave it some thought today. Like I did give it some thought today, right? Like something has to be done, right? This is my future. This is my future. So something definitely has to be done about this situation, right? And I'll get that job. She can be off of me on that job, but like I can't have resentment, right? That that she's still going to treat me bad because, I'm still going to be moving forward, right? In what I'm doing now. I'm not the person that I was last year, and she can't squeeze me back into that person. That, like, it's not going to happen. So, and unless she can accept me for the person that I am, then I have no idea where that's going to go. And the thing is, I don't have this problem with any of my other sisters, but then again, my other sisters, I don't know why she finds it to be so necessary for her to be in charge and to take care of me and to make sure that I'm living my life the way she wants to, unless, she's worried for herself, right? She's worried that that I, something's going to happen to her, and then I'm going to be left here with these problems that I can't take care of myself, right? But I'm not worried about it, you know? Like, I know I'll always have the very bare minimum, I'll always be taken care of that way, right? You know? And yeah, it's a control. It's a control issue. It's a control issue on her part. I see that, right? You know, and all I can say is that I am doing my very best, right? I am working on what I can work on. And yeah, I've applied in all the places in my neighborhood, right? But I guess I can do that again tomorrow, right? Yeah. Can't be spending money on bus fare going off in different places every single day. Otherwise, you're not going to have money to go off and do those interviews, right? And got to make sure that you have enough to do the interviews. Oh, I just, I don't like my viewers to see me when I'm in this state, right? This isn't fair to my viewers. I want my channel to be upbeat, and I want everybody to see how well I'm doing for myself, right? So they can get, motivated and pumped and inspired to do the same for themselves, right? Yeah. Get that resume done, Andrew. Get your resume done. Yeah. You're worth so much more, right? But did I miss that, Andrew? Did you tell me how long that you were with that? I'm just going to look back here. That David direction, go forward in the best direction. Look is up. Aw. Or down so you don't trip on anything, right, David? You don't want to be tripping over anything. Aw. And what are you busy doing? Do you still work? Owen, or do you just work on the cars in the garage? I think you were a tinkler, car tinkler, right, Owen? I'm just going over some of these comments so I don't miss them. Aw, I don't know. I'll take the hug for sure. I could use a hug. I love my hugs, right? I love my hugs. So I'll take the hug for sure. And I hug you guys all back at the same time. Oh, you're such a nice guy, William. Oh, you shouldn't have any problems at all. You need, and when you pick somebody, William, make sure that person is your friend, right? Not just a woman, not just a, just not somebody just for the fact of having somebody, right? Like, you have to have somebody that's going to be your friend, right? It's really important that you guys are friends. I know if I get into a relationship again, no doubt. No doubt. Yeah, they're going to have to be my friend. They're going to have to be my best friend for sure. Oh, old radios. Yeah, and you just said that to me twice. You said that last week, and then when you emailed me, you told me in your emails. Yeah. That train station that I explored last year, that had a ton of old radios and radio parts in there, like lots and lots of them. I don't know, that guy who had that place, he tinkered around, I'm sure, because there were lots of TVs and lots of radios. But I know they were using that property too for old appliances and junk, right? Yeah, that was a hoarding property for sure. Yeah, I'm kind of worried about those train station windows that I saw in that little shed, right? That the roof on that shed had already come off and it caved in. The whole building was still there, but the roof had caved in. So, yeah. There's lots of things in that building that could have been salvaged, I think, right? Yeah, I'll be curious. Soon as the snow's gone, we'll take a drive out there and we'll go take a look at that train station, because I remember, this uh past fall when we went to go explore that train station again, it was in really, really bad shape. Like the wood, everything was so soggy, and the chimney was still standing, right? And I know, when the roof gets soggy like that, it's the weight of the chimney that makes the roof cave in, right? I know you remember, you were telling me about your music and the cases of cassettes that you had. I can't remember what the music that you liked. Was it country music that you liked, William? I couldn't remember what kind of music that you said you liked. And William does poetry too. Mm. Yeah, William, that would be nice. And make sure she subscribes to me, right? But you have an amazing personality, right? What about somebody at your church? Oh, gospel music. Okay. Okay. And you sing, and he sings too. Do you play guitar or any instruments? Just trying to think. I think he said guitar. He might have played guitar. Maybe he just sings. I don't know. 26 years. 26 years. 26 years, Andrew. That's a long time. Oh, that was, see, Owen wishing you happy birthday. See, we didn't forget, right? But I should have emailed you this morning. I apologize for that, but I would have done it, but you didn't text me this morning. Otherwise I would have, and I would feel bad that if I did that. Oh yeah. Yeah, so Anad, he just texted me just to thank me about the comment I left for him. But yeah, that'll be fun when I go camping with him next year. Yeah, next summer, not this summer, next summer. 2 weeks I said that we would go camping. He says he knows some amazing places to go camping out there. But I don't know, like I don't think there's a lot of nature left in Europe. I think it's all, the land is all being utilized over there, right? But what I would like to try is some of those trails, right? They have those paths in Britain, that the Romans used, and it's the law that farmers and stuff have to let people use those paths, right? Because they've been like world paths like since Roman days, right? So I would like to do some of those and even metal detect along the way. Wouldn't that be fun? Yeah, I'm curious to know how the metal detecting fits into my story, right? You know, Me and my dad metal detected when I was a kid, it was something me and my dad did all the time, right? And we had the whites metal detectors and we would go off metal detecting together. And even as a young adult, like when I first moved to Winnipeg before my dad passed, we went metal detecting out here too, right? Like metal detecting has always been, and I'm right into, I gave up all my entertainment videos, but I kept my metal detecting videos. Now there's a reason for that, right? And I don't know what it is, and I'm curious to see, whether if it's these people on these channels that I'm going to be associating with, or if it's going to be something to do with metal detecting. I don't know. But I don't do a lot of metal detecting. I have a metal detector, and I go off a couple of times a year, but I'm not an enthusiast metal detector myself, as I am an enthusiast to watch the metal detector. And it's the Civil War artifacts that I really, really love, right? In the metal detecting videos. Like I like to see them when they go into old war camps and stuff, and they do bottle digs, right? And they get into the old bottles. I still haven't gone out to raise land there to that old cabin, that old house, right? And do some bottle digging there. Yeah. Like I know where the dump is there, because they just dumped all their garbage into the ravine. And then I guess every few years they would light the ravine on fire, right? Yeah, so yeah, maybe this summer I'll do that. Oh, the Ukrainian, David, those churches are up there, right? They're in bad shape, but it just went from being a rural community, like farming community, to people moving into the town of Dauphin up there at those churches. 25% of the population still speaks Ukrainian, right? Up there. Yeah, it's still very, very dominant as the Ukrainian, but they moved into the city, right? It's a lot safer too in the wintertime, in those days, to live on a farm, and you'd have those terrible, terrible blizzard winters, -40, right? And it's hard. It's hard living to be out there by yourself, right? So I guess slowly over the decades, right, people just started congregating and just turned a small town into a city, right? So there is a fairly large city up there in that area. But yes, this summer for sure. Yeah, we'll go take a look at some more of those churches. That whole area is a lot of history, and a lot of history in that area, and it's one of my favorite areas of the province to explore, right? And it's one of my favorite drives, right? It takes about they say you're supposed to be able to do it in 4 hours, but it usually takes me about 6 hours to get up that area. No, William, I've never heard of those people. But yeah, those Ukrainian churches are absolutely beautiful. I just love the mushroom, or yeah, the onion domes on the top. And the Ukrainians, that we have a big Ukrainian church downtown, and it's absolutely huge, and it's so colorful. Like they're so colorful. They use the most beautiful blues and pinks and yellows, all kinds of beautiful pastel colors, right, when they do their churches. But I heard those type of churches are supposed to represent uh, Noah's Ark. I think a boat. I know they're supposed to represent a boat, the way they're shaped and everything. Yeah. But I think it might have been a representation of Noah's Ark. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. If anybody out there is Ukrainian, they could set us straight on that one. But I think that's what the case was. Just taking a look. I feel the same way, Andrew, right? I watch a lot of ballroom dancing and swing dancing. Um, I love dance. I love dance. I'm not so big on ballet. Actually, I'm not a big fan of ballet at all. But because the thing about ballet is it's pain, but they make it look like it's not pain, like it's effortless, right? but it's a very, you know that they're in pain. Like you know they're in pain, but when you watch ballet, you don't see the pain in the dance, right? But swing dance and ballroom dance, like I just absolutely love dancing, but I can't dance myself, you know, or maybe I can dance and I'm just thinking about it because uh where is the, oh, I don't have it, but when I was a teenager, I came across a photograph of this, right? And there was this boy that liked me when I was a teenager, but I was afraid. I was afraid of boys, right? But we took a picture because we went to a school dance, and when I was taking a picture, you could see me standing away like this. I was so afraid of him, right? Like I was just standing away, and we took a picture together, right? But I remembered we were dancing, and I remembered him telling me to slow down, that I looked like a chicken, and I lost my love for dance after that, right? Maybe I didn't lose my love for dance because I remember when I went to the bars and stuff, I liked to go dancing and stuff. But then it's dark, right? And at that point, I think I was just doing it for my own enjoyment, and I didn't care what anybody thought. But I probably thought I was a bad dancer, but I just didn't care what anybody thought of me at that time, right? Oh, is Robert here tonight? Oh, Robert, I'm so happy to see you. I haven't seen you forever. I uploaded a video this week of my squirrel sled, right? I took a sled full of treats up to the forest for all the wildlife to have at her. And it was so much fun. It was such a good little video. You might like it, Robert. So take a look at it when you get a minute. But it's really nice to hear from you. It really is. I hope life is treating you good. Oh, awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Robert. Thank you. Yeah, Robert's been with me for a long time too, right? Yeah. Yeah. And he started, you actually, I think, even started, you made me brave enough, Robert, when you started opening up like that. You made me brave enough to actually do the research and start studying on the subjects and stuff, right? So that little bit of extra push that you gave me, Robert, was it last year? Yeah, was it? Oh, could it have been last year? Maybe 6 months ago or so, right? You know, and then we all had that big conversation that night, and you opened up like that. And yeah, you made me brave enough to do it myself. I have a video, you guys. I have my founding story, you know, the story of my childhood experiences with my mother, right? Evan Carmichael sent it to me. His editors had it, and they set it to music. They did such a great job, right? They did such a great job, and I couldn't have asked for the story to be told better. It was really good, but it's a matter of me, like, getting the nerve up. I have the nerve to put it up. I just know it's going to agitate my sister greatly when I do it, right? Because when I upload that video, there's no turning back, right? You know? I mean, it'll be out there, right? And I know some people will probably feel bad, right? Because they didn't know the whole story. And yeah, I let it all out in this video that they filmed me in, right? They did a founding story video for me, right? So so I am putting it up. I just haven't decided. I think I might like to build some content around it during the course of the week or a couple of weeks or so before I upload it, or at least have a secondary video to push afterwards, right? So I just got it. So, and I just watched it yesterday, and yeah, and I'm still absorbing that too. Oh, well, then I'm going to have to go in, Robert, unless it's a different name. Oh, you wouldn't want me for a manager there, Andrew. I'd whip you guys into shape in no time. Yeah, but like I said, I love dance, I love music, I love theater, right? I love all that stuff, but there are things that I don't do well myself. So those things I like to be a spectator in, right? I know where my strengths lie. I know where my strengths lie. So I'm good with that. Oh, Robert. Well, shoot me a comment. Just say hi, Robert. Just say hi, Cindy. Just so I know you're there. But yeah, I would actually make you know, a shout out to you, right? When you're not here, then I'll shout you out, knowing that you're gonna watch it later, and I'll keep that in mind, Robert. When I do my live, when you're not able to make it in with us, right? Then I'll make sure that I shoot you a hello, because then I know that you're gonna be watching it, right? You know, this channel, this live, I love my lives, right? I love my lives. I love making it just for you guys. I know maybe at some point that comments might get so busy that I miss out, because I do miss out on some of my comments, right? And sometimes you guys are smart and will re-say it for me, right? But sometimes I totally miss it until I go over I go over the live video afterwards, right? Because lots of times when I'm on my lives, like today I'm present, right? But sometimes I get into these flows that when I watch the videos over, like I'm getting a lesson, right? Because I forget even that what I've talked about, right? You know what? Shoot those names there. I'll take a look at those gospel singers. I know there's like gospel rock bands and stuff now. Reverend James Cleveland. Never heard of him, William. Oh, Owen. Such a cheerleader for me and my brand. Isn't he just awesome? Yeah, I love Owen. Yeah, we should have a chit chat, Owen. We should have a chit chat. I have your email. I can email you, but I would much rather, if we could get together live, wouldn't that be nice? We can do like, you know, I don't know. We can do Google Chat, right? But we'll figure something out, Owen. And like I said, I'm going to be doing some visiting, right? When I do go to Toronto, I think, well, I hope I can go to Toronto. I'm going to do everything I possibly can to get to Toronto this spring, right? For Evan Carmichael's workshop. That's his book. That's his book right there. Yeah. I think I might have gotten the wrong one word. The book, your one word, right? And I think I've gotten my wrong word. I thought my word was forgiveness, right? And I think I came up with that word because I was going through a really heavy time at one point, and I made a big breakthrough, and I made this big breakthrough because I learned that to forgive, right? To forgive myself and to forgive other people and to forgive the past, and when I did all this work in forgiveness, it just made such a huge impact. And because that word represented my story so well, like it just felt like that's the word. But I'm not using the word. Like my content, forgiveness is all my content should be about forgiveness, if forgiveness is my one word, right? And you don't feel the forgiveness. I swear I have the wrong word, and I have to go through this book again, and I have to do it again, and just to make sure, right? It'd be terrible if I built my life around a word that wasn't meant to be my word, right? But yeah, I made a big You don't like Toronto, Robert? It was huge. I remember when I left Toronto, because when I came into Toronto, like when I drove in, I didn't really notice how big the city was, right? But when I was leaving the city, I couldn't believe that it took me an hour to get out of the city. That's how big Toronto is. They say it's the fourth largest city in North America. It is. It's absolutely huge. Absolutely huge. And busy, scary highways too. Busy, scary highways. Yeah. You would never drive your car downtown. Like there would be nowheres to park, right? You could drive down there, but yeah, like I don't know. Well, they have subways, like to get anywheres in the city, it's pretty fast. You like the small towns, eh, Robert? Yeah, I was just saying tonight that I don't know if I would be able to live in a small town, right? I don't know. I don't know because the thing is, I love the outdoors so much. I love the outdoors so much. I just thought that if I lived in a small town that I wouldn't appreciate the outdoors like I appreciate the outdoors now, right? And I'm good outdoors anywheres. I mean, I can go down to the city park. I'm good walking around downtown. My evening walks, I get the exact same feeling out of my evening walks, right? Like, it's not just being out in the countryside, right? But I am a city girl. I like the busy. I like lots of people, even though I don't have lots of people around me. I like lots of people, right? I like the busy, busy. Oh yeah, that must have been something else. I know I did take my car downtown like when I was doing sightseeing and stuff like my last day in Toronto, right? I was doing some sightseeing and I was just thinking of something here. Darn, I'm not going to mention it. I'm not going to mention it. It's something else that's been weighing on my mind. It's something that I wrote in my Follow Your Dreams book. I wrote it in there months ago, and yeah, hmm, yeah. I'm not giving any thought. I don't need any more heavy on my brain today. That's for sure. I'm feeling much better though, but it's my own fault, right? I took those videos like 5 minutes. I had set up my camera and everything. I was ready to go, just made myself a cup of tea, but I was right into my videos right up until I went live today, and I was doing some heavy topics and some yeah, clearing lots of stuff today. Do you drive, Andrew? I love country roads. I love country roads. I'm like Starsky and Hutch. Is that them? The guys with the oh, not Starsky and Hutch. Um ah those two brothers, those country brothers with the orange car, right? What was that show? Dukes of Hazard. That's what it is. Yeah, Dukes of Hazard on those country roads, right? Because the old railways would go across, right? So when you hit the railways, they'd always have like a little hump, right, on the rails. And then when you hit the rails, that you could actually go flying in the air with your car, right? Yeah, I know when I was, if those of you who remember Macon, right? I was with Macon and we were out on those country roads one time and I almost flip the car doing that, right? Because the two front tires hit first, and then the back tires lifted up and almost flipped us right over, right? So I don't do those anymore. And especially now when I'm out on the roads on my own, right? You're a funny man, Andrew. You're a funny man. Yeah, I'm not a granny driver. I'm a cautious driver only because I drive my sister around, right? My sister got into a car accident last year and she's very nervous, right? Driving and stuff. So I try to drive safe and cautious for my sister. It doesn't help. She still yells at me the whole way, but I can imagine what it would be like if I didn't watch my driving when I had her in the car, right? But yeah, and that's why I drive cautiously when my sister's in the car. And I find, I guess maybe I do a little bit of cautious driving on my own now too, because I'm used to driving that way for her, right? Oh, you know some of the same artists, Andrew. Lots of gospel, lots of lots of God on my channel, right? Yeah. I don't know. Maybe you guys were meant there to be here just so you could like transform me. Yeah. I have been looking for God, right? I just don't, because I know God's there, right? But I just don't know. There's just so many religions out there. There's just so many denominations. Like who's right? Right? Like who's right? I guess it's what you resonate with, right? And I also have this idea that because all the religions are so similarly the same, right? That I thought maybe it's the same God, that everybody has the same God, but it's just dressed up differently to accommodate the culture, right? But yeah, these people that you're speaking of, I've never heard of them. Mind you, I don't even watch TV, right? All everything I watch is a lesson. Everything I watch is a lesson, right? But what were you doing today, Robert? Did you go to church today? I know Robert, is Robert religious? I'm pretty certain that Robert was. My memory is just going on me like, yeah, I didn't have a great memory to start with. Now it's just, but I'm tired. I'm tired. I've been up since, well, I usually get up every morning and William gets up before me because by the time I get up at 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning, William's already messaging me in the morning. So yeah, William's a morning person too, right? And I would think Andrew is a morning person because of his job. Oh, so she's um a singer from like an older singer. This Shirley Caesar, is that Caesar? But because if your mother liked her music, right, then maybe she's more mature artist. I don't know. So everybody, come on. We got 5 minutes. What is the topic for the next 5 minutes? You sound like you're in a good mood tonight, Robert. And that's what I need to do. Need to start them. That's the way to go to bed tonight. I'm going to start my Instagram post tonight. And I think, I don't know. If you gave me something interesting, maybe you could give me something interesting here. Maybe I could talk about my live tonight, with my Instagram tomorrow. I have a great crew on Instagram too. I've been losing people, right, that have been on different topics that I had, but I'm gaining stronger, really super nice, interesting people in my Instagram now. So I'm really pleased with that too. And they've actually, a few of them have reached out to me too, just to say, how much they've been enjoying my content, because that makes me feel good too, right? Because when you don't have anybody to look over what you're doing, like I just have to trust, right? That my posts are good, that they represent well what I believe, right? But I always try to make my Instagram posts some kind of lesson. And I always get the lessons myself, right? It's not just for the people that watch my Instagram, just like here, right? Like I'll watch my live show tonight when it's over, and I'll get insights myself, like how to do maybe a little bit better next job. I know I came into this a little bit sad today, right? But I'm feeling so much better now. And it didn't take much, right? It didn't take much. It's just family. Family is important. Family is important. And when you have to make these big decisions, right? Yeah, they can weigh heavy on your mind. Right? Have a great night, David. Everybody, I guess it's time for us to call it a night. Thank you so much. Happy birthday, William. Thank you so much for popping and sharing your special day with us. That was nice of you. Yeah. And if any of the ladies are watching and you want me to matchmake, I'll help matchmake William. I've known William for a long time. We talk every day. He messages me every day, super involved in his church. And yeah. Beautiful skin, beautiful dark skin, right? Yeah. And yeah, just an amazing, kind-hearted soul. Yeah. So yeah, any of you ladies watching my live afterwards, you want me to, shoot William a good word on your behalf, I would be happy to. If not, you can find William on Instagram, and you can message him on your own, right? Instagram is an amazing platform for doing that, for communicating and getting to know people and carrying on conversations, right? So I'll be going on to Instagram in the next few minutes. And if you want to chit chat me, DM me. I'm online, right? I'm happy to chit chat. And if you have any questions or, any issues or anything that you want to just unload or get an opinion on, I would be happy to help you out. But my friend, that was nice of him. Yeah, another friend has just uploaded a video. Yeah, I've got some catching up to do. So everybody, have a great night. Thank you so much. You made me feel so good today. And I know it's me supposed to be making you feel good, but yeah, I'll know better to stop the videos a couple of hours before I do my live next Sunday, right? Like I said, I was just doing lots of heavy topics today. That's all. But I feel so much better, and I hope everybody else is feeling good today. And David, thank you so much. Mexico, how awesome is that? Owen, thank you. Have a great night, everybody. Night, Andrew. Night, William. Night, Owen. Night, Jim Bob. Night, Mary Ellen. Have a great night, everybody. Bye-bye.